and welcome back to another adventure on the Inkscapades. I am super excited to be teaming up with my friend Brenda over at the Dormouse's desk. We have this super great challenge that we're gonna do, and all of her links will be down in the description box below. So, before we begin, let me tell you a little bit about this collaboration we're working on. So we had so much fun during Inkvent and just unboxing and trying out inks that we didn't know existed or like new colors. So we decided to send each other some inks to sample out. So this is the box. I hadn't opened it, but I pulled off the label so you know you didn't know our deets. And she's got a little card here. Look at how cute. Look at this sticker. I'm going to try my best to peel it off and reuse it because it is so adorable. And I read that off camera because y'all don't need to know my business. But here are the ink samples. So I've got them in a fun little bowl here, and every day I'm going to pull an ink, maybe one, maybe two. There's a couple extras in here, but we are going to do a 7-day video challenge. So stick with us for 7 days and see what inky goodness we get up to. So let's talk some supplies. Now I'll just do this in the first video to kind of give you an idea of what we're working on. We've got the inks, some water, and then I'll have a glass dip pen to write out my sample names. I'll use some of these reinforcement labels on the tops of my samples, and then we have again the Mnemosyne pad. This is the Tomoe river paper, and I got this from Galen leather, and then also we have the Rhodia. So I wanted to test it out on a couple different papers, and then I'll also use the Col-o-ring swatch cards as well, so that way I can test out my colors. I'm going to have some washi tape or masking tape, and then I'm going to be working on the Acquarellò. Why can I never say that? It's 100% hot pressed watercolor paper, so that is what I'm going to do. So here is the little bowl, and I'm choosing I think this one. This one's calling to me. So let's go ahead and open it up. Rohr and Klingner. Oh geez, I hope I'm saying that right. And this is alt-goldgrun. So it looks kind of like a greenish color. I'm excited. Let's grab our supplies and get swatching. Now, I won't show this in every video, but I just wanted to give you a little peek into my process. I put a little reinforcer on the top of my sample jars, and then I just grab a little paintbrush and take some of the ink from the lid here, and I just paint it onto the circle. That way, when I have all of my ink samples stored away, I can easily see what color is in the jar without having to like pull them all out. Now I'm going to put down just a piece of Tomoe river paper here so I don't make a mess on my table, and let's go ahead and write with the dip pen the name of the ink and the brand. And it looks like this was a sample that she got from gouletpens.com. So obviously there's a bunch of shops online where you can get inks, but that is one place that you could get it. So I'll go ahead and put their link down in the description box below. I'm not sure if this is an ink that you can still get, but it is gorgeous, and I can't wait to see how it looks when it dries. So we'll pop that off to the side. I've got my Mnemosyne pad here, and we're just going to do a little bit of a blob here, kind of thick and heavy in one area because I want to see how the ink layers up. Here it is on the Rhodia. And the Rhodia tends to be a little bit more like a drier paper. I don't want to say dry, but it like sucks in the ink. So it's always interesting to see how these inks dry on the different papers. So let's go ahead and set those off to the side and wait for them to dry. And we're back. Look at this. Oh, it reminds me of the Golden. Golden has an ink and it's like a green gold, and it looks just like that. It's got some hints of kind of a brownish, some yellow in there. Oh, very beautiful. I'm loving this color. And here it is on the Mnemosyne. You can see it's got some of the shading. You can see a little bit of the kind of yellowish browns there. It did not leak through the back, which is nice. Here it is on the Rhodia. It's a little bit more flat. We're not seeing as much of that color buildup, but there is also some granulation on this one, which is interesting. So I do like that. And then here it is on the Tomoe River. And I just love this paper because the effects that it gives, like this one, you can see that kind of yellowish color seeping through the back. But yeah, I love that paper. So here they are all together. So you can kind of see the differences in the paper. Like they're more, it's a little bit more yellowish on the Rhodia. It's a little bit more greenish on the Tomoe River. But yeah, so there we go. Now let's check out, this is always my favorite part, the chromatography. So here we've got a bits of the kind of those reddish pinkishes, some little oranges in there, some yellow, and then that blue on the top. So this is going to be really interesting to see how it paints. So let's jump into that now. All right, I've got my paper here. It's on a block, so I'm going to leave it on the block. I'm going to put some tape around the outside edges. I'm going to use my water. We're just going to play with paint today and see what we come up with. I'm a little bit rusty, so let's see what we get. right, so we've got it all untaped and I pulled it off of the block and here it is. This kind of landscape came together a little bit differently. The paper was a little longer. I added kind of like a misty sun there. Maybe there's some water in the middle here. I'm not really sure, but it was really fun just to play with the color and see what we could pull out of it. Now, if we zoom in here a little bit, you can see from the chromatography, we've got those yellows there. We have that green in the middle. Some of those blues right here on the edges are peeking through, and we definitely have some of those pinks as well. So it's really fun to just play and experiment and then see those colors, how they come out onto the paper. So, it wasn't my favorite piece, but again, I'm kind of wishy-washy. This is the beginning. That first day is always a little bit rough until we get into the groove. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Lots of love going out to you all. Be sure to check out Brenda's link down in the description box below and see what she did. And until tomorrow, happy creating.